All right. Good morning and welcome to day 3 of AWS reInvent. We are coming to you live from the Expo Hall floor from the AWS Hero Lounge, where we have commandeered the entire area because we are both AWS Heroes, and we can do that.
Yeah.
Sure, until Ross says we can't.
Until they throw us out, we're going to keep doing what we think is the right thing, and hopefully they keep supporting us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, my name is Chris Williams. I am an enterprise architect, and I am an AWS hero. Today we have
Mike Fiedler, and I am also an enterprise architect and an AWS container hero.
What? Blow it up.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to go through our 2 questions that we've been asking all of our guests today. Number one. What service or event or announcement are you most excited about and or interested in? People have been saying, can you say this instead of that? And I'm like, okay, interested, excited, whichever word you want to use to connote positive attention towards from the announcements that you've seen today.
So the things I've seen so far, the thing that is most interesting to me and I think is very important is the tighter integration with AWS Inspector with a lot of some of the other security or container scanning and findings.
Yep.
As we progress along our cloud journey and everybody kind of adopting or transforming into cloud, even if they start in cloud native, the security posture and story is one of those things that is always going to be evolving.
Yep.
And so the integration and tighter integration with releases as new products are evolved, as the Elastic Container Registry can now take images, scan them on demand, and have been.
Yep.
But surfacing those back to a central inspector and then finally the security hub is such a critical part of the overall security posture that any company needs to consider throughout their entire journey.
Right.
So seeing more launches that are taking existing services and kind of layering on those additional features of tighter integration to help the operators and security teams and CIOs, CTOs have a better understanding of where they are today and what the next 2 or 3 moves they should be making is. Those services are just wonderful.
Right, because as you yourself have said, it's very important for the architect to get security in the forefront of everybody's mind before the first line of code has been written.
Yeah.
So that these services can be best leveraged, so that security is at the front of everybody's mind, not treated as a second-class citizen, as we have sometimes seen in production environments.
Yeah, like a lot of people will hear the term security shift left, right? And that's that whole notion of you want to bring things in earlier if you read left to right. If you're from another country that reads right to left, then it's obviously backwards. But moving it leftwards is kind of bringing it in earlier. And very often we've seen teams and companies kind of launch a new idea and then the security team becomes like a blocker or the slowdown and everybody throws their hands up and says, oh, security won't let me do it. But if teams now have that visibility and bring that in earlier in their pipeline or as part of their continuous operations and evolutions, it's a lower effort for everybody involved and the outcome is measured in security.
Right, exactly.
We'll see that with a new launch that came today, I think, around S3 and default access policies. The removal of object ACLs, so now the owner bucket can really be the owner, the default owner of all the objects in that bucket, even though you may have extended access to a third-party account to write to your bucket, you still have that ownership and can start layering on your policies and your security controls on top of that, which previously you had to write a lot of your own code to do. And AWS has listened to the customers and the heroes to say these are things that actually matter to us. Please remove our need to build it and just do it for us.
Right, exactly.
Which is wonderful.
100%. Awesome. Okay, so question number 2, and this is a very open-ended question. You can take this wherever you want to. This is a PG-13 audience.
Family friendly.
What do you hope to come away from reInvent with?
So this is the first time in a couple of years that we're doing reInvent in person and virtual. So I think that last year the virtual reInvent was a really good effort in order to try and bridge that gap and bring people together. But here we are literally brought together. And just in having hallway conversations or right after a session conversations of the topics or ideas or over lunch, I think that those connections that you make or the ideas that are sparked during those, that's the part that I want everybody, like myself, to take back home and say, I had this conversation, I learned about this idea, let me explore that later, because I can't do it right now, there's too much going on.
Right.
But like, take some notes, take a bookmark of a session or a URL that somebody promoted, and go research that on your own time, so that way you can bring back some of the magic that we have collaborating by being together here.
Right. The quintessential, okay, where's your book report and what did you learn that you have to report back to your boss on, and then give a presentation to the group.
Usually, right? Like that's kind of the implicit understanding. And as you can obviously see by the extensive list in the session catalogs and the impossibility to like attend all the sessions, you really have to pick and choose what are the things that you think are going to resonate with your team, and that's going to be contextual and specific to you, your team, where you are in your phase, to understand, okay, these are the 3 topics that I think everybody on the team should be aware of. I'm talking about security and security posture. Like, those things are transferable across the team.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Well, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you guys later. Bye.